Well, long time no see. It's been quite a while. There was a period where I didn't get to work too much out down here, but I'm back and I've added a new section to it. It's been a lot of fun putting together, but it's not done. But I thought I'd go ahead and make a video and show you what I've done here in the corner. This layout is Bloomington, Normal, and Towanda, Illinois from 1965 to 1980. So I found a 33 by 76 corner over here, and I came right off the layout, and now we have Chicago Union Station. And it came out pretty good. I'll show you some of the pieces to it. Some of it's scratch built, some of it's 3D printed. Some of the backgrounds on it are all printed buildings from the neighborhood, because with Union Station, as it represents on here, I have Chicago River and the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower. I always call it the Sears Tower, and Adams and Jackson Boulevards, which are both one way each direction around the station, and I have them like that. I have the bridges, and of course, as we all know, Union Station, when the trains come in, they go underneath, and in the current day, they go underneath about 4 or 5 city blocks of buildings, because they've added skyscrapers and additional postal facilities on top. But this is back in the 60s, and 65 to 80, mainly maybe early 70s. And this is kind of the way it looked, with Jackson Boulevard kind of right out on the edge. I wish I could have done the post office, because that's where Interstate 294 runs underneath. But of course, you know, you never have enough room for everything. So let me give you a look here and give you a tour. Okay, first of all, there's the Bloomington yard. And I come off of it down here at the end. It makes its curve around here and goes through Normal, as it always did. Heads through Illinois State University and out to Towanda, the airport, and you know the rest of the layout. And when it comes in here, I added a crossover right down here from the main line to the inner main, or the running track, so I could get to the inside. I can get to Union Station from both tracks. You can see over here on the other side, I have another crossover the other way, so I can get in either way. I only come in from one side, so I come in from the running track over here, and I have a switch, a crossover. This was kind of a tricky one, because I have, as you can see, I have the cork underneath it, but in the yard I don't have the cork in it, and it works its way down to the surface of the table, and I had to kind of get it just right to get it to cross there, and even so it didn't have any bounds or didn't have any unlevel areas for the trains to come in. So that's where it comes in, and this is where the table splits. You can see here, and this is going to have up here I put all my Commonwealth Edison and all my red maroon GM&Os, or a lot of them, up on here. And you can see there's about 16 inches right here below. So as we come over here, there's going to be a backdrop, as you'll see here, and you see the outlets. I got to move these outlets up to here, because as you can see, as we come out here, you can see that the city pictures, that's the backdrop. Now what I did was I took and I ordered from Trackside, can't remember the site on eBay, they do the backdrops, and I ordered a solid blue 24-inch backdrop, and I placed it all the way around. You can see where it goes around here. And then I went in onto the internet and I picked out pictures of the buildings in the neighborhood. And of course you can see I've got intersections. There's an intersection right there that will go into there when I have the backdrop finished there. And of course you can see I have the traffic lights, all the lights. There's another intersection that will go down, and that goes into and it's not Van Buren, or I can't remember which one is the next street over from Jackson. So I put that in there, and this is basically one way going this direction, but it comes to the intersection here and it starts two-way over there. The streets around it are one way, and I made those 3 lanes, so I had to take that Bush highway, the adhesive flexible highway, and I put 2 lanes in, and then I had to cut 1 in half to make the 3rd lane. So this is Jackson on one side of the station, and you can see here, this is the part of the drawbridge. Of course, I run out of room here on the table, but there's the drawbridge, and there's the building with the facilities to raise it and lower it. You can see in the background, you can see the original Union Station with the one they've remodeled that actually has the giant room, and I have that. So all these pictures I printed off. There's the BMO building. That's actually a little newer than the 70s, but I put it in there, and I put a little red blinking light at the top of it, just cut through it and ran the wire down behind the paper. So this whole neighborhood here, that's supposed to be Jackson Street going back there, and that's supposed to meet there and be Jackson Street coming up here, Jackson Boulevard, and it is one way east coming toward where I'm standing. Now this is one way going to your left. Hey, you like the little light and the little building there. A lot of it's not in perfect scale, but I really wanted the buildings nearby, so I did that. So you can see that I went down the street here, and this is actually a one way this way. And you can see that the building's behind Union Station. And what I did is I took and printed off these buildings, and I went out to FedEx Kinko Printing, and I printed off poster prints, and then I cut the buildings out and I put it on this blue background. Tony did that with his Chicago, and it came out really good. So I decided to have that with a uniform sky. So you can see that back there. And you can see the traffic lights down there with the intersection of Adams and Canal Street. This is Canal Street in the back here. So there's Union Station. That's a Walther's kit, and it's supposed to represent Union Station. It's supposed to represent the actual terminal, not the great room, which is still standing, the one across the street. This one is now gone. There's a skyscraper built on it, but back in the 70s. So I put a parking lot, and I put the lights. I put the old-fashioned lights, and we'll take a peek at it with the lights off. You can see back here. Here's Adams. You can see the buildings back there, and of course construction in Chicago is always there. So one time I bought some HO parts, and this guy sent me some bags of the old Kenner girder and building kit, and I built a little, was it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories, I guess, being built. And I went and bought a Keebri tower crane kit, and let me tell you, Tony had a time putting those oil refineries together. I think this took as much time to put this crane together as it took to put one of those oil refineries together. It was really tricky, but I finally got it together. Looks pretty good in there. I'll put a little flag up there with a little light on there, because you know how they always have the flag flying at the construction sites. So that's come down there. You can see down here, here's the Chicago River. You can see it's going down through there. And of course, here's my 3D printed Sears Tower. I'll back up from that, and as you can see, I put 2 flashing lights at the top. It actually works off the same circuit board as the little flashing red light to the side over there. They flash opposite of each other. But that's my Sears Tower, which is not in perfect scale. It's 29.5 inches with the antennas. So if it was in scale, it'd have to be like 44, but it's close enough. Looks good. I have to put a new backdrop. There's the old backdrop with the Sears Tower I had on there, so I'm building a new backdrop to go into there, and it's going to go behind that. And you can see that I took some of the beams from the Rick's overpass kit, and I made a solid barrier around Sears Tower. I built a little base for 2-3 stories, and I'm going to print pictures of the doors and the pictures and that of down below, because there is a concourse with restaurants and retail and stuff like that underneath where the Sears Tower goes up. So I did that, and then I went and got a set of stairs and built, and I made a little park down below, which actually a little farther down there is a kind of an open park type area. So I built that. I put some of the grass in there. I got my folks in there sitting. And this is a fence from one of the Walters City Iron underpass kits. I had a piece left from over at the other side over here, so put that up there, and just it's my little other side of the river. So I'm still going to be working on it. I have a lot left to do. As you can see, that I put the old-fashioned lights in the parking lot, and I put one down here. I've got some more coming, so I'll put a second one in there. Of course, the Sears Tower, you know, when you look at the Sears at night, you have the buildings all lit up with windows that have lights in them, but of course you can't do that with this. The gentleman I bought it from does make a smaller one, because his 3D printer only goes so far, and he does have it set up where he has the windows opened up and he has light in underneath, and it looks really good. But I had to go with this one, which is fine. So what I did is I took some bright white, I put some white tubing. See, I put white tubing around the lights for like little spotlights, and then I aimed them up toward the building, so the building will actually be lit up on the side. So it's about as close as I can do. But that's Chicago. As you can see, the trains do go underneath. So I built the underneath, and you can see that I used LED strips for the lighting underneath. You can see that the lighting on the ceiling, and then that light in the back is a picture of the entrance to the terminal at Union Station, and I took a picture and I put it in the back, and I put an LED behind it so it lights up, so you can actually see the terminal doors from the loading platform into the terminal. So I have that. You can see that I have LEDs, red LEDs on the bumpers for all the tracks. You can see in there. You can see over here too. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, that's my river. That's just kind of a smooth river. I know it's got the little lines in it. I'm going to try to disguise that, but I had to put the pieces in to go all the way back. I'm not quite all the way back. I bought this. This is pretty much what the side of the Union Station looks like underneath on the side of the river. It does have the portal type supports, so you can see inside there. You can see through there through lighting up in the ceiling through each track. And you can see in the back there. Each track has an LED back there. I do have some dwarf signals going inside each one of those on each track. And the inside, a 2-aspect red and green. That's what's underneath. And then I have these, which are these are from the We Honest Chinese folks on eBay, which is actually David Lee. He's actually in Walnut, California, but these are obviously made in China, but he sells them direct, and they work great. So what I did is, those are 3-aspect. Those are red and yellow and green. So what I did is I built a panel so I can start changing. You can see yellow, go here and change. So I can change them down here, and actually I built a switch panel, and I've got two more switch panels that go next to it, but they're going to operate the dwarf signals underneath, and these here control the 3 aspects that I just showed you. So I made a little control panel underneath here, and I'm at the end of the layout right now. You can see where there's the end of the layout from Normal. That's the Normal underpass out there in Normal, Illinois, where Main Street US 51 went underneath and goes underneath the railroad. But I went and built this little area here because I've got my MRC twin pack over there, but I'd like to have it be able to run them from the outside too. So what I did is I went onto eBay, and I used to have one of these. This is one of the old Trawler Auto Pulses, twin packs. I bought that for $14 on eBay, and it works great. And for $12, I went and bought one of their walkabouts. And that walkabout, what it does is you've got your duals up here. You've got outputs for duals, so you can have 2 blocks. And now I've got my 2 mains run off of that. And if I want, I can. There's a third 18-volt DC that runs out of the back that's constant, and you plug this into it, and you can have a third block. Or you can switch back and forth, and you can use it to walk around for one of the other ones. So I can, whichever way I set it up. So I'm going to set up some switching, so I can switch back and forth from my MRC over there to the auto pulse over here. I'll just have a double pull, double throw switch that I can switch, and I can go over there and use that one, or I can switch it back and come over here and use this one. But it's a 16 volt. The MRC actually, both tracks running together runs about 11 volts per track. The auto pulse runs 16 volts per track, 15 and a half. So I have a little more power, but you have to be careful with older engines with the trawlers. It does have the momentum on it, it does have the braking on it, and it all works. You know, 26 bucks, and I bought both of these, so I couldn't pass that up, especially when they work. And I had one for years that worked really great for DC. So I've got that, I've got the switching, I've got some hubs over here where I've got lighting all hooked up to. Got one over here, and you can see all the lighting and everything is for that. So let's turn the lights out and see how it looks with the lights. Okay, there's Chicago Union Station. That's actually in the West Loop. That's the West Loop area where that and the Sears Tower are at. So that's kind of what I tried to simulate. And I put a couple spotlights so you could see the Union Station on it. And they're right there in the parking lot. And I used the old-fashioned lights, and then I used the Mercury lights for downtown. And of course you can see down the street at night. It looks pretty good. And of course I ran the wires up the back for the Sears Tower, and the flashers up there. And you can see my floodlights. They go most of the way up the main frame of the building. I mean, I can probably aim the ones on the outside a little better to go a little farther up, but you know, it's better than nothing. And I'll get that, and I'll get that backdrop. And there's the little park. Everybody's sitting in it. You can see everything in there. And the station. All the tracks. You can see the tracks down here, so you can see inside. So everything looks pretty neat when it's all lit up at night. And over here, since they do have the post office right there, the post office is right there across the street from the station, so they've always had, they used to have the old RPO cars bring the mail to Chicago. That was the way it traveled. So what I did is behind here are all the wires for a lot of these lights that go over here, and then they go under the table right about there. And then I just put a front cover on it, and you can see some of it's solid, but right here, this is my USPS terminal. So you can see I've got an old GM&O RPO car, rail post office, and it's there to unload the mail for the station, for the post office, which isn't there. These two lights will light up also. I don't have them connected yet, but they'll light up just like this one here. This is the yard for Amtrak, or the this side of Union Station had Pennsylvania and Burlington Northern and the GM&O, and of course the southbound, or the south side of Metro, which was the RTA back then, would come in here too. So I've got the 3 lines, but I need to get some RTA cars and an RTA or a Metro engine. And the cards are really expensive, so one thing at a time. But I managed to close that up and put all the wiring underneath there, and then I put some of the railings which came out of the overpass kits, and put that all the way over the top. So it came out pretty good. Need to get some traffic in there and get some people in there. I did find from We Honest, I found these little micro LEDs, and they're in different colors. So I bought blue ones and I bought red ones. And I found the 1976 Dodge Monaco Chicago police cars, and these little mini LEDs. It's amazing because you can hardly see the LED, but underneath the LED, before the wire goes out, there's a miniature board underneath there that makes them flash, like emergency vehicles. The board is as small as the LED. It's just amazing. But I've got a couple packs of those, and when I get the cars, I'm going to put the blue lights are already on top, so I'll just put the LED next to them, and they'll have the flashing lights, and I'll have somebody pulled over or whatever. So we'll have a little action on the layout. So, but there you go. That's what I've been working on for the past probably couple of months. We've had other things too. My son Tony just bought a new house, so I just finished helping him put a fence in, and he and his wife Amy are doing an amazing job on the house. It's an awesome house down in Hayworth. Yeah, I'm just so happy they got it. It's super nice. Got a good price on it. So I'm helping him whenever he needs me, and we got things up here in our own lives. So I haven't gotten back to the music either. That's the other thing I got to do. So, but I wanted to get this down as far as I could. So there we go. You can see you pull out and head down the line there and head wherever you're going and come back to Chicago. So just wanted to give you an update on it. I'm not done with it, so when I get more things done on it, I'll put a video out there. So thanks a lot. Take care.